Hello everyone! Today I would like to teach all of you how to make the best gear in the Lord of the Rings mod for Minecraft. First of all, let's go over the weapons. Today I will be teaching you how to make the best spears, swords, pikes, axes and hammers, bows, and blowguns. After that, we shall move on to the armor. But for now, let us start with the weapons. First of all, I will teach you how to make the best spear possible. In order to do this, you will need 3 spears of the same, how would you put it, faction. Yes, 3 spears. On each of these spears, you will get one of these modifiers. Legendary, Swift, and Long. Let me just take them. And you might be asking yourself, how do I get these modifiers? Do I just have to craft spears until I finally get these? No. The best way to get these modifiers is through reforging. Now, in order to reforge, you will need the appropriate amount of money. I've prepared a decent amount of money here beforehand. And you will need the smith to do the reforging for you, who I have here. Now, in order to reforge, you will also need to have enough alignment with the faction to which the smith belongs to. In this case, this is Gondor. As Gondor is a human faction, the amount of alignment needed is 50, at least. With Dwarven factions, Elven factions, and Orcish factions, you will need at least 100 alignment in order to use their smiths. Now, for the reforging itself, it is rather simple. You right click on the smith, and here you click on the smith option. After that, you place the item you want reforged into this slot, and you click here to reforge. As you can see, it also tells you the cost of the reforging right over here. Once again. This time I will not reforge because I've already prepared all the best modifiers beforehand. But you would keep reforging until you would get one of these. Long, Legendary, or Swift. You would prepare 3 spears, as I've said before. And you would put each of those modifiers on each of them. Like this. Long, Swift, Legendary. In any order, it doesn't really matter. After you have all of these 3 spears prepared, you start taking them and you start combining them like this. Once again, it tells you the cost of the combining. Here you can see by putting Long here and Swift here, we will end up with a Long, Swift Gondorian spear. Just like that. But we are not done yet. We take the Long, Swift Gondorian spear, and we take the Legendary spear still in our inventory, and we combine them as well. This will result in a Long, Swift, Legendary Gondorian spear. Like this. This spear is considered to be maxed. A maxed weapon means that it has all the 3 modifiers you can put on them. Each item can have only 3 modifiers. And for the spear, the best modifiers are once again Long, Swift, Legendary. The best as in the best for PvP, of course. which is what this guide is really about, mostly. Focusing on PvP items. Long Swift Legendary for the spear. After that, we're moving on to the weapons below this, which would be the next one, would be the sword. Now the sword, luckily, the best modifiers for the sword are the same as for the spear. Legendary, swift, and long. So once again, you would take these, you would go to the smith, go to the smith option, you take your swords, you combine them, like this, and you will end up with a maxed out sword. Same modifiers as you see. Next on, we have the pike. And for the pike, this time it's actually different. Yes, you will want legendary and swift, just like before. But because a pike cannot get a long modifier, instead what you want to put on it is hulking, which gives +2 knockback. This is because the pike is usually used to keep your opponent at bay, to keep him away from you. So the hulking modifier serves to knock your opponent away when he's coming at you. So once again, we go to the smithing option. We put the pikes in, we combine them, and we end up with a maxed pike, which is legendary, swift, and hulking. Now the axes and the hammers, they have the same modifiers as the spear and the sword. Once again, legendary, swift, and long. The same thing on the hammers. Legendary, swift, and long. And once again, you would take those out, you would go to the smithing option, you would combine them here, and you would end up with a maxed out sword, a battle axe, and a warhammer. So, moving on to something new, we will start with bows. Now, bows are a bit different. The best way to max out a bow is not through a smith, but rather through an anvil. Because in order to reforge and combine and repair bows, you need string, which I have prepared here. Now, for the modifiers, the best modifiers on a bow is striking, enduring, and fierce. Striking to knock anything that you're shooting at away from you. For example, when a player is coming at you to try and hit you, you shoot him and he'll go flying. Considering that you land the shot, of course. Enduring for the durability, and fierce for increased damage, as well as range of your arrow. As you can see, this arrow flies further than this one. So, you go to the anvil, you once again take your bows, and you combine them here. But unlike at the smith, you have to put string here at the bottom. And with that, we have a maxed out bow. Lastly, I will teach you about the blowguns. Blowguns are a special sort of a, how would you call it? Ranged weapon. Yes, a ranged weapon. which does little damage, but shoots incredibly fast. Allow me to demonstrate. Do not mind the visual glitch, but as you can see, they shoot extremely quickly, which is by far their biggest value. Now for blowguns, you actually have two options. The standard blowgun is the same as the bow, with modifiers as follows: fierce, enduring, and striking. If we take these, we just take these, and combine them, we will get your standard normal blowgun. That's the one that you always want to have, or not always, but it is nice to have. From my experience, it is very nice to have a blowgun in your slot, as it shoots extremely quickly, which allows you to just blast your enemy with a barrage of I believe they're called darts. Yes, darts. This is incredibly good for, well, if enemy is charging at you, you just pull out your blowgun, which has striking on it, you know. It would have striking, enduring, fierce, which means it would have knockback, and you just start blasting at him like this, knocking him away extremely fast. Even if you're not a very good shot, as long as you spam well enough, you'll at least land a few shots, keeping him away from you. And then there is the other variant. Oh, first of all, I should mention, in order to reforge and combine and repair blowguns, you are going to need reeds. Not string, reeds. Allow me to demonstrate. First one, the second one, and in the bottom we put reeds, which allows us to combine them, allowing us to make a maxed out blowgun, or rather the first variant of the blowgun. Now there is a second variant of the blowgun, one that, as you can see, is missing the striking modifier. Now this is done in order to pelter the enemy with darts, but keep him in place to keep pestering him without knocking him away. Apologies for that. This will make it so that you can just shoot into an opponent without knocking him away too far, if that is what you want. But by far, its best application comes when you're pursuing someone. When someone is running away from you, often you will find yourself pursuing your opponent for quite some long time, especially if they're good at running away. The blowgun can help you catch up to them, though, as the blowgun darts can be poisoned, just as the arrows can be poisoned in this mod. By hitting an enemy with a poison dart from a blowgun that doesn't have the striking modifier on it, that doesn't have the knockback, you can apply poison to your enemy, which prevents him from regenerating and also slows him down as he takes damage from the poison. And you will also not knock him away with this blowgun, because the blowgun on its own deals very little knockback. And since you will not have striking, knockback modifier on this blowgun, you will not knock him far away from you. But you will poison him, which will make it that much more easier for you to catch up to him and finish him off. Again, this blowgun only needs enduring and fierce. And there we go. And that is more or less it for the weapons. We will now move on to armor. Now, armor is a bit of a tricky one. In PvP, it is extremely important to have maximum protection. In normal Minecraft, that would mean getting diamond armor. But here, you don't need diamond armor. You don't even need its mithril counterpart in the Lord of the Rings mod. You can just take a normal set of Gondorian armor, and through reforging, you can make it just as good at protecting you as diamond armor would, or rather mithril in our case. Now you might say to yourself, but why would I bother? Why shouldn't I just get mithril armor? It's faster, all I have to do is craft it, and it's maximum protection, right? Well, there are two reasons for this. First reason is, mithril armor is far more expensive than diamond armor normally is. Because mithril is extremely rare. It spawns only in one certain biome, and it's very rare there as well. It's very hard to find in that biome, and that's the only biome you can get it in. And the second reason is, many servers, multiplayer servers, for the Lord of the Rings mod, do not allow mithril armor in their official PvP events, such as battles and events. So, high chances are, if you wish to play on multiplayer, you would like to go with a normal set of armor as compared to mithril. Because you will either be forced to, by the server rules, or you will find out that it's much more cheaper to just max out a normal set of armor as compared to crafting a mithril set. Now, how do you make a maxed out set of armor? Well, for the Gondorian armor here that I've prepared, you again need 3 modifiers for each part. For the helmet, it is tough, enduring, and Eolean. You once again take these, you go to the smith, and you once again combine them together, like this. This will give you a maxed out helmet, which has Eolean against, it's a protection against projectiles, which means arrows, darts, bolts, anything that can be shot at you. Then for the chestplate, it is steadfast, not tough, steadfast, enduring, and Eolean. You would once again take them, go to the smith, and you combine them here, all 3 of them, and you get a maxed chestplate with Eolean, enduring, and steadfast. Oh, let me just do it like this. There. No. Better. Moving on to the leggings, you will want once again tough, enduring, and Eolean. You would once again take them, go to the smith, combine them there, and that would give you maxed out leggings, which would be tough, enduring, and Eolean. And finally, moving on to the boots, we have tough, enduring, and watch out, not Eolean, but Lightfooted. Lightfooted gives you maximum protection against fall damage. This is very important, as often when you're fighting out in the open in PvP, you will get knocked around a bit. And if you, God forbid, get knocked off a hill and not have the Lightfooted modifier, you could take a lot of damage from falling, from the fall damage. So in order to prevent that, we put Lightfooted on our boots, as to avoid as much fall damage as possible. So again, you take the boots, you go to the smith, you go to the smithing option, you take your boots, you start combining them, then you take the last one, you combine them, and that will give you maxed out boots, which are once again light-footed, enduring, and tough. Now, a fair warning, not every armor in the Lord of the Rings mod can give you maximum protection, even after reforging. For example, I've prepared an example here. This is a Harnenor chestplate. This chestplate, when maxed out, will not give you maximum protection. It will be close, but not maximum. Now, you might be asking, how do I find out which armor can give you maximum protection? Well, that's simple. Use the mithril armor as a base. The mithril armor has the maximum protection you can ever get. On basic, No modifiers. You can't put any modifiers on them. Any protection modifiers, because they already have the maximum protection. So in order to find out if the armor piece you want to have can be maxed out or not, simply compare it to its mithril counterpart. As example, the maximum protection you can get on a chestplate is 8, as you can see, because that is what mithril has on default. But when we look at the Harnenor chestplate, we see that it starts out with a protection of 5. Now, the best possible modifier you can get for protection is Steadfast, as we can see here. By putting the Steadfast modifier on the Gondorian chestplate here, we got protection plus 8, which matches the mithril chestplate. But if we were to go ahead and put the Steadfast modifier on the Harnenor chestplate, we would end up with a protection of plus 7, which is just short of the mithril chestplate. And the same goes for every single armor piece as well. For helmet, the most protection it can get is plus 3, which is what we have here. Putting Tough on it. And for the leggings, it's the same, plus 6, which we have here, again, plus 6 on the Gondorian leggings, matching the protection on the mithril leggings. And finally the boots, which is once again plus 3, with Tough, which once again matches the mithril boots, plus 3. By just, looking up, for example, in the too many items, looking up the mithril armor, you can always use it, mithril, don't mind the other mithril stuff, I have other mods. But just by searching mithril armor in too many items, you can take a look at what protection mithril armor has, and then you can compare it to the armor you're thinking about maxing out. And that way you can find out if the armor you want to max out can actually give you maximum protection or not. And with that out of the way, I do believe that I've covered more or less everything, well, at least the basics on how to get the best gear possible in the Lord of the Rings mod. With that, I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your attention in watching the video. I do hope it was at least a little bit useful to you. and I wish you luck in your smithing endeavors. Because believe me, sometimes getting the modifier you want can happen right away by reforging, but it can also take a bit of a time. But in the end, it's worth it, because if you do not take maxed out equipment into PvP, chances are you will get, for the lack of the better word, demolished. So, max out your equipment, and best of luck to you in wars, battles, whatever you wish to fight, really. I once again thank you for your attention, and I wish you a good day.